Hard Eyes. The film opens at a winery in Seattle. A couple, Patrick and Adeline, are in a romantic setting where Patrick decides to propose to Adeline. Although she accepts, Patrick is annoyed when he hears the photographer that he hired, Nico, fail to get a good shot of the proposal. Nico is then stabbed through the face by a masked killer. Hard Eyes. The killer then fires an arrow at Patrick's head, prompting Adeline to run. She runs inside the facility, where Hard Eyes kills a security guard before locking her inside a grape press machine that crushes her completely. News spreads about Hard Eyes' arrival in Seattle, as he has previously terrified other cities like Boston on Valentine's Day, by targeting couples in love. Meanwhile, an ad designer named Allie McCabe is getting coffee with her best friend, co-worker Monica. At work, Allie and Monica's boss, Crystal Kane, choose Allie out for coming up with a pitch for a perfume ad that shows famously doomed couples, which is ill-timed given the string of Hard Eyes murders and is seen by many on social media as being in extremely poor taste. Crystal brings in Jay, who happens to be a new part of the company, to help fix things. Jay invites Allie to dinner, strictly for work purposes, which she accepts. Detectives Zeke Hobbs and Janine Shaw arrive at the winery to investigate the murders. They find a wedding band with the initials JS, and Shaw determines that Hard Eyes must be playing out a sick kink in the way he executes his victims. Allie goes to a restaurant to meet with Jay. They get into a chat about how Jay believes in love and hopes to find the right person, while Allie is bitter and cynical after being dumped by her boyfriend and seeing him on social media all the time with his new girlfriend. After Allie gets too harsh, Jay leaves. Allie runs after him with remorse, but then grabs and kisses him just as she sees her ex Colin and his new girlfriend Sienna. She pretends she and Jay are together just before Colin and Sienna enter the restaurant. Allie and Jay then hop in an Uber to go home. The driver stops at Allie's apartment, but she lost her key. Jay helps her break the glass into the building, but gets a nasty cut on his hand. Allie brings him to her apartment to patch him up, but they are attacked when Hard Eyes pops out of Allie's closet. He almost stabs Jay, but Allie smashes a lamp on the killer's head before they run away. They try to run back to the car, but Hard Eyes kills the driver with one of his arrows. Allie and Jay run toward a park where Hard Eyes emerges and knocks Jay out. Allie runs and heads to a carousel where the killer tries to get her, but Allie manages to shove him off. The police arrive, with Hobbs declaring that Hard Eyes has been captured. Allie finds Jay in the back of the cop car, where Hobbs and Shaw have mistakenly believed him to be Hard Eyes. He is just upset that Allie ditched him and left him for dead. At the police station, Allie meets David, an IT guy, who recognizes her from Bumble. He makes a poorly conceived attempt to shoot his shot with her, but she says it's not the best time since she's being chased by a killer. Allie tries to get the station clerk, Fran, to check on Jay while he's being interrogated by Hobbs and Shaw, since they think the ring found at the winery belongs to him. Allie also grabs an American flagpole and arms herself in case Hard Eyes pops out. The lights in the station go out, and Shaw goes to check on things. Fran gets impaled with the flagpole, and Allie runs. The detectives go out to confront Hard Eyes, but Shaw is knocked out, while Hobbs takes a machete to the balls before getting his throat slashed. Allie runs to get the keys and free Jay so they can escape. The two run towards a drive-in and realize too late that they have lured Hard Eyes to an all-you-can-kill buffet of couples. Allie and Jay hide in a van being occupied by a hippie couple. Hard Eyes kills both of them by shoving a tire iron through their mouths, and Allie and Jay run. Hard Eyes begins to slaughter more people until Allie and Jay resolve to end things right there. They grab the tire iron and fight Hard Eyes. Allie hits him over the head with a propane tank before Jay impales him with a machete. Jay unmasks him, and he turns out to be some random guy. Medics arrive to take care of Allie and Jay. He leaves her with his number in case she wants to talk to him again, and Shaw gives Jay a ride to the airport so he can go to a friend's wedding. Allie goes home but calls Monica and says that she regrets blowing it with Jay since she has started to fall for him. Monica encourages her friend to go to the airport and tell Jay how she feels before it's too late. Allie makes it to the airport but doesn't find Jay. She gets a phone call from an unknown number. It's the real Hard Eyes, very much alive and telling Allie that he has Jay. He orders Allie to meet them at a nearby chapel. There, Allie finds them and finds that Hard Eyes is David, the IT guy. Except he wasn't working alone, and his accomplice was Detective Shaw. They are a couple with a sick fetish for hunting and killing couples. And other Hard Eyes, which was killed by them, was just some weird fanboy that wanted in on the murders. Shaw makes Allie pick up a gun with one bullet and choose to kill either herself or Jay. Allie grabs the gun and tells Jay that she honestly developed feelings for him that night. Allie then shoots Jay through the shoulder so that the bullet can hit Shaw in the gut. David attacks but gets an arrow through the eye, courtesy of Jay, before he falls into a bunch of candles and gets burned. Shaw tries to finish Allie, but she stabs Shaw in the neck with a metal straw before tackling her and causing her to get beheaded by a sword on the statue of St. Valentine. David is still sort of alive until Jay fires one last arrow into his head. 1 year later, Allie and Jay have worked together on the most successful campaign for their company, and they have become a couple. Jay asks Allie if she would like to move in with him, but she brings out a ring and proposes marriage to him. He accepts.